What's going on? It's the RapNerd, and if you're a part of the film community, you've seen this story about the art director of Obsession came out on Instagram and posted her pay and wishing that she and the crew would get bonuses because Obsession is going on to make $250 million when the budget was only $750, right? And I've just been seeing conversations about it a lot, and it's been on my mind, and I found myself having my own conversations in my head. So I figure it's best to make a video to talk it out, right? So I'm like a bit in the middle with this because I do understand that bonuses, and I feel like the cast and crew should be paid well. But I'm also on the other end of it too, where it's kind of like it's all about what you negotiate as well. Because if you agree to a contract and you sign off on it and no mention of back end or bonuses were spoken about, I also don't think it's right to now want to have a bonus because the movie is going crazy. You know, so I understand both, right? Because for one, I think that the timing of this was not the best, and I also think the way that she went about it was not the best either, because as we know, again, if you're part of the film community, they actually extended the theatrical release for a full 45 days to make more money. And in my thinking, I'm like, okay, if they're extending the box office run, they're trying to make more money out of it than they can. And I feel like that allows for those conversations to be had after the box office has, been earned and the theatrical run has stopped, right? I then think that, we don't know, of course, nobody knows but them. But I feel like then is the point to actually have a conversation with Curry himself about the possibilities of that. And I think that had she done this maybe a little bit further down the line after the movie's been out and theatrical releases, ceased, VOD is up and all of that, even if it's on whatever streaming service, and she's like, we should have got bonuses, hey, I'm all for it, right? But to do that while it's still in theaters, to me, is a bit like, it's kind of bad timing. I think he could have waited, because again, we don't know what's being discussed and what has been discussed behind the scenes, or if Curry is currently doing that, because a lot of people are citing, I believe his name is Mark Lipper on YouTube, who also did Iron Lung, about how he paid out his, bonuses. But what I saw, right, he paid those bonuses out once his theatrical run ended, because the movie was only in theaters for a month and it was very limited release, and he's the one who actually got it distributed, right? So I feel like that's a bit different, whereas here we have a studio behind it distributing it to get the biggest bang for the dollar, right? So I feel like the conversation can be then had once the theatrical release has completely ended, and then that makes it a lot different, you know what I mean? So I also feel like doing it on an Instagram post, I don't know, it just feels like you're trying to blast the director for something that I don't think they should be blasted for in that way. I know people are saying that it's about a discussion of getting paid more and how these type of discussions should happen, where if a movie does well, more people should get paid. I'm all for that. I think there's conversations to be had there, which I have my own thoughts on that too. But I feel like, again, it's looked at like Curry is the bad guy and he's being, villainized for that. Like, oh, he don't give a shit about the crew, he just paid them. And to that point even, I'm like, I still don't even think that's fair to do that, because, he didn't know that the movie was going to blow up the way it did. I saw an interview when he was saying that after they shot it in 2024, he put the thing on his back and he was trying to sell it to studios and get somebody to bite about it, and TIFF was his last resort. And if he didn't do it on TIFF, he would have just put it out on YouTube. And that then begs the question, like, if the movie was just on YouTube, or if the movie flopped in a sense, would this conversation still be had? And that's the part I have a problem with, because I'm just like, I think the expectation for people to just give you a bonus is fairy tale land, personally. And again, that's how all industries work. And I've seen people say like, well, that's why we're trapped in jobs and all this. It is what it is. It's the modern day world. You have to negotiate what you want, period. Because I don't think the people who are just 100% in agreement are looking at it from the perspective of Curry being the director, writer, and producer. This is his project. He got a loan or whatever he did to get $750,000, and that's on him. Like, that's his investment on the project. And he paid everybody nicely according to what the industry standard was. Like, she got paid $6,700 for 20 days of work, which is a really nice pay. Not to say that like she got overpaid or anything. No, I think she got paid and she did good work. But he paid her and the rest of the cast what they should be paid. So it's not like he undercut you. Again, if she said, oh, I only got paid $500, then yeah, I would be like, oh yeah, you got screwed. But I'm like, you got paid a good rate, yo. And the risk falls on him. And that's why, again, when you sign up for a contract, you have to make it known what you want to do. The expectation that somebody should just give you a bonus because something did good, I think is not realistic at all. When I first picked the camera up to kind of get my skills in check, I was seeking out clients who wanted commercials or like promo videos for the companies. And when we spoke, we talked about contracts and what we were going to pay. And I was like, look, just give me a flat rate. I don't really care about back end of what this may do for your company. And they paid me a fee to shoot their videos. And to this day, I don't know what their companies have done thus far, but I mean, they could have had $1 million companies now. And I don't think that it's fair for me to go back to them and be like, hey, I helped you with my promo video. I think I need a cut of what you made on your budget. It don't work that way. I don't think that works. Again, it's all about what you talk about in those contracts. I heard Denzel say this awesome quote where he was like, you do what you have to so you can do what you want. And that's just how life is. Because even from a personal standpoint, I've done short films myself, right? And if I pay somebody to write a script and all they say is just give me a flat fee, that's what you get. Especially because this is an indie movie where nobody knew anything. Now, when you deal with bigger companies, totally 100% agree, right? Like if this was against a movie that was produced by a company like, say, Neon was the one who shelled out all of the money and they were the ones paying people completely, then yeah, I think a big business, they have the revenue to promise bonuses. You know, you look at what Matt Damon and what Ben Affleck did. Those dudes are pretty much OGs in the game who are financially set and can do what they want to do. So yeah, for cats like that, everybody should be awarded bonuses because of how much money is being spent and how many hours are being put into it. But like something for an indie movie where nobody knows if the shit is gonna pop off or make any money, no, I don't think that that's fair to put that on the writer or director to say like, hey, you should do this automatically. I think it should be discussed. And I don't like how it's being panned of like, if you completely disagree, you're against people getting paid, because I don't think that's fair and that doesn't make sense to me. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, everybody don't deserve to have a bonus. I'm a manager at my job and each year we give raises, right? And you have the choice to give whomever how much money they worked for and what I feel they deserve, but not everybody gets the same amount. Because there are people who just show up and do the bare minimum just to get by. There are others who go above and beyond. Again, I'm not saying that about this art director because I don't know what she did. I'm just saying in general, when you have a team of people, everybody is not deserving of a bonus because something does well. And to counter my example about my job, there's another example that I saw somebody also post saying like, I worked in a retail store and when the company did 20,000 for the day, everybody got bonuses. But listen, a bonus is given because you're not being paid fairly up front in the first place. I don't think people really understand that. You're getting a bonus because your flat rate that you're already getting paid is less than what you actually should be getting paid. It's a reason why when bonuses happen, all the employees get bonuses and not the manager or supervisor who's getting paid salary, because that level of bonus is already within their pay. So that's a really bad example to use as to why cast and crew should get bonuses when movies do well, because they're not really the same because of that. And in some cases, they are the same because of that. But for here, I don't think it is based on what she got paid up front and what the budget was. That's why it goes into negotiations in the contract. You cannot be afraid to speak up for yourself, period. The changes being made are when you speak up for yourself in the contract phase. I mean, look at Ryan Coogler with Sinners, right? How I think it said in 20 years, the rights go back to him or something like that. That's him speaking up for himself at the beginning of the process. And of course, he's in a different light because he's done things and he has the ability to make those negotiations. But again, you work and do what you have to get to a point where you can do what you want to. Like, you gotta have leverage to make those type of decisions, or just have the wherewithal to just say it. Again, I think coming out the gate thinking you deserve that without having any conversation is not realistic at all. That's just not how business works, period. And that also doesn't necessarily mean people are getting screwed because you didn't get back end money. No, I feel like you have to negotiate what you want. And all in all, I think that there was a much better way to have this conversation than to do it like this, personally speaking. Because if I was in Curry's shoes, I would feel betrayed by this. To blast this publicly without even having a conversation with me about it. It's kind of like, damn, I thought we was cool, you know what I mean? Like, I thought we were good. we could have had this conversation on the phone if that's, you know, what you really wanted and meant to do. Or maybe like, hey, I can't give you that right now, but because I fuck with you as an art director on our next project, which I'm about to do, we can negotiate the back end because it's clear that we do something special. So I'm gonna stop there because I could keep rambling, but at the end of the day, I think the sentiment is understandable, but I just think it was wrong timing, and the way it went about doing it was not good either. Because if you really want a change and a message to be sent, I think doing it in a way that can't be weaponized against you is the best way to actually make people listen. Splitting the subject in two because of how rash the way to go about it was. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole situation? You can be detailed as you want. I'll lay it all out there for you. And again, this is not a hate post on her. She did what she felt was necessary. And I'm just giving my thoughts because I'm somebody who also wants to be in the industry, in the seats of a writer, director, producer, or what it is. So this is eye-opening. I just wanted to talk about it. So of course, let's get a discussion down below. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace.
RapNerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy. Instead of banking on it, now rapping is just a hobby.